What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and today we're back to talk about Warhammer 40K. This month is pretty special because we've decided to split it up into two main themes. We've got Orktober, where we're going to be going over anything that has to do with the green skins, and since their codex came out not too long ago, there's a lot to go over. Today we're covering none other than Mozrog Skragbad and his awesome mount, the Great White Squig. But on the flip side, if you guys want more horror-themed stuff, since Halloween is this month, you guys are in for a treat because we have tons of creepypastas planned, tons of scary 40K videos, and for the last week leading up to Halloween, that entire week will be dedicated to the horror side of 40K, and it'll end on Halloween Day with a creepypasta. So stay subscribed for all that fun, and with that being said, let's dive into the meat and potatoes of this video. So let's start with a little bit of backstory on Mozrog. This orc is known to have always preferred the company of other squids over that of his orc brethren. He lived his days in self-imposed exile, hunting one monstrous beast after another. His tribe mates, however, suspected that his time alone might have made his brain just a little bit funny, but they even couldn't argue that his impressive hunting tally was something worthy of legend. This status quo was broken when his tribe joined Warlord during the invasion of the Iron Warriors on the world of Yerwin II. During the battle, Mozrog was swallowed by a gigantic subterranean creature known as a gut maw. The snakebite steed didn't survive this encounter, but Mozrog himself was able to survive deep within the bowels of this creature. Legend states that he clawed his way to freedom from within the beast, killing it in the process. And it is said that the half-digested Mozrog arrived back to his camp days later, dragging the creature's eyeballs behind him. Impressed, the war boss had the best pain boy rebuild Mozrog with bionics, and at some point, he acquired his gigantic power claw, known as Gut Rippa. Ever since that day, he has always driven to seek bigger and nastier quarry. Some orcs say he cannot be killed, others that he will one day hunt the stars themselves. Whatever the truth may be, Mozrog now tolerates entire warbands of followers, trailing him on his hunts and hoping to share in the glory of his kills. Mozrog's primary companion is that of the Great Albino Squid. Some say that only one glare was enough for him to tame the beast, but in truth, it took the orc 3 days of wrestling and overall just fighting to quell the beast. Since that day, Mozrog and his steed have never been seen apart. So let's go ahead and take a look at the rules for this guy as to what makes this awesome model awesome on the battlefield. So this guy, as you can see with all his scars and bionics, he's been to a couple battles. That's putting it lightly, because he's got two awesome abilities that just make him so much more survivable and durable on the battlefield. The first is tougher than a rock squig, which gives him a 4-up invuln save, and that is paired up with thick hide. Every time an attack is allocated to this model, you subtract 1 from the damage to a minimum of 1. So now that you know that this awesome warrior can stay on the battlefield long enough, let's see how much damage he can actually dish out. So if he gets you in close combat, he will definitely stick you with his Gut Rippa, a melee type weapon that gets a AP of -2, +1 to the strength, and a whopping 3 damage which each attack landed. But the fun doesn't end there, because the Great White Squig will also be attacking with his big Champa jaws. This is also a melee type weapon with a strength of 7, AP -3, and it's also going to be dealing 3 damage with each chomp. And to add more disrespect, each time the bearer fights, it makes 3 additional attacks with this weapon, but no more than 3 attacks can be made. Each time an attack is made with this weapon, an unmodified wound roll of 6 will inflict 4 mortal wounds on the target, and that attack sequence will end. That just goes to show you how devastating the big Champa jaws of the Squigosaur really is. With a potential of dealing 12 mortal wounds, that could outright kill even the biggest contenders of 40K. Now we all know that orcs love to get into a big badass fight, and there's a stratagem that works perfectly for this. For 2 command points you can do The Bigger Day Is, which allows a beast snag a war boss, which could be this character here, to be able to add 2 to any damage characteristics of their attacks as long as they're targeting a titanic unit. So say goodbye to all those Warlord titans, because the orcs are here to take them down. Now of course it's very rare to be going up against titanic units in most games of 40k, so because of that you probably won't be using this stratagem too much, but these next relics are something that you should really keep in mind. For example, the Beast Hide Mantle is made up of thick fur, reptilian hides, tusks, and all kinds of weird conglomerations of kills that the orcs have done. But what this does on the battlefield is that it adds 1 to the bearer's attack characteristic, and every time that person would lose a wound, you roll a d6 and on a 5 up, that wound is ignored. So it makes you more survivable and it gives you more attacks, which when your attacks are doing 3 damage, this could be game changing. Now of course if you think that's not enough attacks for you, you can always go with the Beast Snag a Warlord trait, the Big Kill a Boss, which again gives you more attacks. Every time the Warlord fights, as long as it's within engagement range of an enemy vehicle or monster, then you get to add 2 to the Warlord's attack characteristic. And every time the Warlord makes a melee attack against a vehicle or monster, you add 1 to the attack wound roll. So this basically guarantees whatever you're fighting in close combat is going down, probably within the first round of combat. And there you have it guys, that was the first video, at least that I have put out for Orktober. I'm sure Gershwin will be putting out a slew of them since orcs are his favorite army. He's got a ton of orcs in his collection, and I'm sure he has a lot to say about the new 9th edition codex for the greenskins. So once again guys, don't forget, this Orktober we will be putting out tons of orc videos, so stay subscribed for that. On the plus side, we do have some creepypastas and other horror themed 40k videos to celebrate October's Halloween month, so a lot of stuff coming this month. Please stay subscribed. If you guys want to go that extra mile and help support us here at One Mind Syndicate, you guys can always head on over to our Patreon page, where only a simple $1 a month will help us keep giving you guys 40k videos each and every day. With that being said, let me know your thoughts down below on this orc war boss. Is he an auto include or is he a skip and you should just stick to Gaskell? Because in my opinion, they're both pretty good HQs. So again, can't wait to see your replies, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. As always, I have been the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll see you then. Peace.